Hello, I'm Juan Davis, Chief Creative Officer at KCT and PBS SoCal, and we're partnering with the newsroom of KPCC and LAist on a daily reporter roundup. Let's start with you, Robert. You've been looking at new reports on COVID-19 cases in LA County jails. What are the details?
Yeah, the Sheriff Civilian Oversight Commission says more needs to be done to control coronavirus spread in LA's jails. Their report highlights insufficient testing protocol, inconsistent use of masks, and a lack of cleaning supplies, among other concerns. The report says the jail population is actually down 32% from before the pandemic, which is a reduction of about 6,000 people. At their meeting today, though, commissioners made it very clear that they want to see jail populations come down even further to allow for physical distancing. I spoke with someone today who says she has a cousin in the jail system who has asthma and diabetes. She said he created a curtain out of his blanket to try to prevent the guys next door from infecting him. The report points out that as of earlier this month, almost 3,000 inmates had tested positive for COVID-19. 6 who tested positive died in custody, although the report notes that it's not been determined whether the virus actually caused their deaths.
We're also learning more about how the coronavirus pandemic is disproportionately affecting moms. They're working fewer hours, taking on more childcare responsibilities. Mariana has been talking to a few moms about how they're getting by.
Well, underlying a lot of the decisions these moms are making is a lack of safe, reliable childcare. Most schools are online, childcare programs are closing, some of them for good, and parents can't pay for what's available, or they just aren't comfortable yet sending their kids into an environment with so many people. A USC working paper I looked at found 42% of moms reduced their working hours during the pandemic. That's compared to 30% of dads. And researchers are saying this could hurt their careers in the long run. And these are a few of the concrete examples from my reporting. I talked to a teacher. She's worried about losing savings for retirement and not being able to be eligible for a raise if she doesn't come back from her maternity leave when she planned. Another mom I talked to is delaying college classes, in part because she has 3 sons and no daycare. She says her dream is to open her own swim school, but that's on hold right now.
At the LAUSD board meeting Thursday, they discussed deep cuts to the LA school police budget. Carla covered that.
Yeah, so over the summer, the school board voted 4-3 to reduce the school police budget by $25 million and to invest that money in support of Black students. But this week was the first time the task force charged with making recommendations about that gave a public update. It included a draft of potential cuts, like removing officers from campus assignments and instead having them respond on patrol, which would be a cut of about $5.8 million, also possibly eliminating overnight and weekend coverage. Other possible cuts include getting rid of canine searches and student programs in wrestling, anger management, and exploring careers in law enforcement. The update did not include how the district should reallocate the funds, and it happened really late in the evening, so the board ultimately agreed to discuss this again later this month.
And finally today, Olivia has the latest on historic Santa Anita cabins that are threatened by the Bobcat fire.
Yeah, so as the Bobcat fire continues to burn around the San Gabriel Valley, it's threatening homes, it's threatening structures. And one of the communities we talked to, the big Santa Anita cabin community, which is a quaint community kind of built at the bottom of the canyon, which dates all the way back to the Great Depression. Those residents were evacuated on Sunday, and since then they haven't heard anything about the status of their homes or the status of how far the fire has burned. We spoke to Ben Fitzsimmons. He owns one of the cabins, and he was telling us that one of the biggest concerns residents have is not knowing whether they'll be allowed to rebuild once this is all over. While cabin owners do own the cabins, they lease the land from the Forest Service, and due to the environmental impacts of this fire, it's just uncertain whether it's going to be safe enough to rebuild.
Well, thank you, Olivia, and thank all of you at the KPCC and LAist newsroom. And thank you for tuning in. Take care of your family, your health, your neighbor, and we will see you on Monday.